The Digimon TCG's unique mechanics create some very interesting strategies and refreshing gameplay, but these same mechanics put some aspects of the game in a tough spot. This is not a call to change anything, but rather an interesting dive into what works and what doesn't because of the context of this game and its mechanics. Let's take a look at some topping deck lists and see if we find a pattern. Second place Red Omnimon list at the 256 person official Bandai tournament March 21st, 2021. Only 3 Gaia Force. 6th place at the same event. Only 3 Gaia Force. Green Ceresmon at that same event. Only 3 Hidden Potential discovered. 3rd place 1.0 Blue Omnimon. Only 4 Hammer Sparks. 1st place Blue Omnimon 1.0 format. 4 Hammer Sparks. Only 1 Cocytus Breath that the pilot says you could easily swap out for anything before you even touch Hammer Spark. We see only the same options being run and in a similar pattern. Your option either needs to be insanely good, where the cost doesn't matter, especially if it can be played free from security like the non-restricted removal that Gaia Force provides, or insanely cheap, if not free, like Hidden Potential Discovered and Hammer Spark. The options counts are always the lowest they can be and tossed in to round out a list. Let's look at security and memory mechanics to see why. In this game, you need to clear your opponent's 5 security and then attack them directly to win. The only way to advance the game state and do this is with Digimon. Options can't attack. They're not Digimon. But we'll get to certain options that discard security in a second. With the memory system, you only get as many actions per turn as your opponent allows you with how much memory they give you to start with. Very often this will be just 1 memory unless you have a tamer out that gives you more. While you're playing options and leaving your board exposed, your opponent is getting more bodies on board. Now your Digimon will need to get rid of these guys and attack security if you want to stay in the game. Sure, you can get rid of their Digimon with Gaia Force or Heat Viper, but this still leaves the problem that you are having no bodies on board. You're not advancing your game state while giving them a ton of memory. You're just delaying your opponent's advantage. With the memory system, consolidating as many rolls into 1 card as possible is crucial with how few actions per turn you get in an average turn. A Digimon with an on-play destruction effect will always be preferable for this reason. You've put your opponent's threat in check and advanced your board state. You're free to check security next turn or attack another Digimon. This is the problem that leads to cards like Code Cracking not being used in decks. This is also why Oblivion Bird sees no play at all, while SkullGreymon saw some use in 1.0. This is why Hidden Potential Discovered and Hammer Spark are so heavily ran in decks. They're literally 0 cost with insane effects and help facilitate your plays to get bodies on board. Their impact on your actions per turn and speed of the game is gigantic. As we move on in formats, we see that even 2-cost options like Flower Cannon, which are staples in our current English meta, keep going down until they're cut entirely because new Digimon like Lilamon gain effects that do its job more efficiently. A lot of the time, it is cost keeping an option from seeing play, but make them too cheap and you end up in a limit list like Hidden Potential Discovered. But is cost even really the end-all be-all? Let's look at Hammer Spark versus the upcoming option in Booster Set 4, Jack Raid. Jack Raid attempts to be a more balanced version of Hammer Spark, playing into the theme of Purple's playstyle, and even has the potential to get you more memory than Hammer Spark ever could. But let's see how many lists were actually running it in Booster Set 4 in Japan. Exactly 0 of the 9 first place purple decks archived by Digimon TCG Review on Twitter used Jack Raid in the time between Booster Set 4 release and Booster Set 5. Just one more condition that is not hard for purple to reach was enough to make this card not considered until we started seeing a bit more support for it in Booster Set 5. While 6 out of 7 first place blue lists in the same period ran Hammer Spark at 4. The one list that didn't still ran it just at 2. Purple is the color that uses the most options because of the wide variety and effective removal they provide. With all these tools, however, purple is still a mid-tier 2 deck in our current English meta. With how aggressive the current meta is and control decks running around, the few board presence purple gets in between playing options can be removed easily and becomes a big setback. We are now seeing purple rise in usage in Japan's Booster Set 5 meta though, and that's with the use of Digimon like Plutomon and strategies involving Guilmon to cheat the cost of option cards. Plutomon lets you play 1 6-cost or less option for free, which gives free removal or extra bodies depending on the card you play. Guilmon gains 1 memory when deleted by effects, so he combos with Demonic Disaster to restand and swing for more security, or Deathclaw to remove your opponent's Digimon. Getting a body on board, a Digimon, that lets you play options for free is the common link we see. You have to design an entire playstyle around cheating out options to make them used in purple. Wherein then does the solution to fixing options lie? I don't claim to know the answer, if there is one, or if it even needs to be fixed. The game is still very young, but we see Bandai already experimenting with interesting choices like the new delay keyword on upcoming options in Booster Set 6. They have a main effect and then can stay on the field until you use delay to send them to trash and gain their delay effect. In the case of these new promo option cards, gain 2 memory. This is certainly a step in the right direction, and there's even rumors from leaks of Booster Set 6 of upcoming option cards with any timing, implying they could work on your opponent's turn even. When only 6 sets in, this isn't a massive concern as the game is still growing and developing. But with this in mind, I am very interested in seeing how option cards continue to evolve. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video interesting and informative. Until next time, remember to stay hungry until you get a taste of victory.